Welcome. My name is Tamala Olsby. I am an education specialist here at the Texas Education Agency. And the webinar that we are going to share together is on the high quality pre-kindergarten component of program evaluation. Here is our agenda for what will be discussed today within this webinar. We will do a brief overview of all of the high quality pre-kindergarten components, and then we will delve into program evaluation by looking at statute and commissioner's rule, figuring out what does all of that mean, and looking at some frequently asked questions. Then we will spend a tad of time in the early childhood program self-assessment document, and we will close our time together talking about how you can meet this requirement and giving you some resources and support for doing that. So let's briefly look at the high quality components that are referenced either in statute or commissioner's rule. Here they are listed: curriculum, student progress monitoring, teacher qualifications, teacher-student ratio, family engagement, and last but not least, our topic today, program evaluation. These are the high-quality components that are a requirement of every public pre-K program within Texas serving eligible 4-year-old students. And this includes districts, charters, and districts of innovation. And the goal with meeting all of these components is to raise the quality of the pre-kindergarten programs across our great state. All the information contained within this presentation comes from at least one of the sources listed here on this slide. Please note that the high-quality pre-kindergarten components are applicable to all programs, districts, open enrollment charters, and districts of innovation that serve eligible 4-year-old students that use foundation school program funding. So here we go. Let's look into program evaluation. This slide articulates what is in statute and what is in commissioner's rule regarding the program evaluation. Please note that here the language is almost identical. So let's look at statute. It says a school district shall select and implement appropriate methods for evaluating the district's program classes by measuring student progress and make the data from the results of the program evaluations available to parents. And you will notice that commissioner's rule is almost identical. This is the second reference for program evaluation that is in commissioner's rule. It says that in a format prescribed by the TEA, a school district or an open enrollment charter school shall report the pre-kindergarten program evaluation type. So what this means is that annually, districts will report into the Early Childhood Data System, ECDS, which program evaluation they used. And here is the third reference in commissioner's rule. A school district or an open enrollment charter school shall maintain locally and provide at the TEA's request the necessary documentation to ensure fidelity of all the high quality program implementation. So what this means is that you should always keep documents. So when you are doing your program evaluation, you want to maintain locally, have all that documentation ready in case it is asked for. So what does all of this mean? Well, it does say that LEAs must select and implement a method for evaluating their pre-kindergarten program. It is also required that that program evaluation must include measuring student progress. Results from that program evaluation must be available to parents, and LEAs must report the type of program evaluation they used into ECDS. And lastly, LEAs should maintain documentation of their compliance with this requirement. So here is a frequently asked question that relates to conducting a program evaluation. The question says, I know TEA has developed a program evaluation tool. Do LEAs have to use that tool in order to meet this high-quality pre-kindergarten component? And the answer is no. TEA has developed the Early Childhood Program Self-Assessment and the Early Childhood Program Self-Assessment Guide to assist districts in meeting this high-quality requirement. But LEAs are able to determine which tool they want to use. We're going to spend a little bit of time now in this Early Childhood Program Self-Assessment tool. So let's look at it briefly. There are currently 4 versions of the Early Childhood Program Self-Assessment. One for pre-K, one for K, one for first, and one for second. And there is a guide that we'll discuss a little bit later in this presentation. And also on this slide, I've given you the link to where you can find all these important documents. Within the self-assessment, there are components. And this slide lists the components that are in every one of the 4 self-assessment documents. The components include access and enrollment, administration and teaching staff, curriculum, instruction, assessment, learning environments, family engagement, transitions. As you can see, these self-assessment documents cover many of the important aspects of a quality educational experience. So once every strategy in every component, remember those that we just looked at, have been evaluated, the results can be compiled on a compilation sheet, much like the one you see on this slide. In this way, it is very easy to see the overall results of the program evaluation, things that the LEA excels in and things that the LEA can use for then their continuous improvement plans. The next step in the self-assessment process is to identify strengths, opportunities to grow, and then to write out the next steps. This page also could be used to communicate the results of the program evaluation, which, remember, is a requirement of this high-quality component. Conducting an annual program evaluation focuses an LEA's continuous improvement efforts to increase the quality of their pre-kindergarten classrooms. I'd like for you to do some reflection now to determine your next steps with this high-quality component. This slide contains a checklist of the requirements that are associated with conducting a program evaluation. You can consider whether you are meeting the requirement or are in the process of meeting the requirement. If you are in the process of meeting the requirement, please consider what your next steps or your follow-up might be. Let's go over each of these requirements. It looks like there are 6 of them for program evaluation. The first, the LEA has selected a method of evaluating its pre-kindergarten program. Number 2, the LEA implements a method of evaluating its pre-kindergarten program annually. Number 3, data from the student progress monitoring is reviewed as part of the program evaluation. Number 4, results of the program evaluation are reported to parents annually. Number 5, the type of pre-kindergarten program evaluation is uploaded annually into ECDS. And lastly, the LEA maintains the appropriate records to document compliance with this high-quality component. This checklist is part of an overall checklist that can be found on our high-quality web pages. If you are in compliance with this high-quality component, TEA would encourage you to use this self-assessment document to consider other areas that you can improve your pre-kindergarten program. Let's look now at some resources and support that may assist you in complying with the high-quality component of program evaluation. I've given you the links to the frequently asked questions that are specific to program evaluation. There is the link again to the Early Childhood Program Self-Assessment document, the pre-K version, and the Early Childhood Program Self-Assessment Guide. There is a link here to the office hour that was conducted months ago, where we looked a little more deeper into the self-assessments. And last but not least is the checklist that goes over all of the high-quality pre-kindergarten components. The Early Childhood Division of TEA is ready and very willing to support your efforts. So please do not hesitate to visit our website and do not hesitate to contact us when needed. In closing, implementing an annual pre-kindergarten program evaluation will ensure that an LEA is continually focusing their efforts in increasing the quality of their pre-kindergarten program in tangible ways. Thank you so much for joining us.